Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah, and I'm not an attorney. I am a victim. I lost my son on January 25th, 2019 to I'm going to say it, a damn drunk driver, because that's exactly what the police officer said to me when he came up to tell me that my son was gone. I honestly had no idea what was in store for me for the next few years. And this is what I have learned. Now, I want to talk about a crucial topic. Finding information and support you need before a conviction is reached. You have to learn how and where and to find this information. Don't rely on somebody to tell you this from the courts. And for heaven's sakes, don't rely on their next door neighbor, the guy down the street, or worse yet, the TV. That is not reality, believe me. Now, navigating the legal system, that is something else. It can be overwhelming, but understanding how to access some resources like the Integrated Victim Services System, commonly called IVSS, can make a significant difference. Now, the IVSS is a secure, I'm only laughing about this because I will tell you what happened to me, online platform provided by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Department, or TDCJ. Now, the reason I'm kind of snickering a little bit is that, like I said, nothing ever flows the way you think it's going to be. I went on the portal one day, and all of a sudden, all this information come out. I mean, I did it legally. And I had documents of Dennis Rodriguez Heredia Jr. for years of all the things he'd done, the notes that came in from his family. Everything was out there for me to get. Now, I'm one of these old-fashioned type people. I made copies. Thank goodness I did. Because guess what? It wasn't so, shall we say, confidential. They were changing, I guess, from one computer system to another computer system, and oops, they downloaded everything. It only happened for a few minutes, and they caught it. But I got all that information. Thank goodness I'm old-fashioned and I make copies of everything. Now, this gave me a real big advantage, I'll tell you. Now, as someone been through these devastating experiences of losing a child, I can tell you what you see on TV doesn't always reflect reality. In fact, it never is reality. It's never reality. One person does not do everything. DNA you don't get within an hour. In my case, it took 10 months. They're not always arrested and put in jail. And believe me, it's not. It is not, again, what you see on TV. The criminal gets all the rights, period. And then they get everything paid for, which is an insult, another insult. Now, every country and state handles cases differently. There is no universal process. And what happens in one place may not be the same in another. It never is the same in another, for what I'm hearing. This is why it's crucial for victims and their families to seek out accurate information and support specific to their area as early as possible. Find an attorney. Find an attorney. Today, I especially want to discuss getting accurate information about a defendant. Please, don't just assume the person responsible for your loss is in jail. I've mentioned that a couple times before, but please don't assume that. It's critical to ask that question. Where is he? And then check it out. If he is in jail, you can find out that information. And I will tell you about that later, how to find out. And he will have a number, booking number. But then too, he can have a booking number and be bonded out. Where is he or she? Understanding the situation, determining the defendant's status can help you stay informed and better prepared as the case processes. And believe me, the more you know, the more you can become the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, because you never want your loved one to just be a case number. And it can be if the DA's office doesn't realize, hey, this person's going to be here for the hearings. This person is going to be checking. Please be the squeaky wheel. Now, it can also save your life. Imagine the shock of running into the man who killed your child, or worse yet, his mother and the rest of the family members. Imagine that. You're walking down the street, and all of a sudden, there is the man with a boatload of his family there. Now, what could happen? This could be life-threatening. This is why in 1983, Marcy's Law was enacted, because that is what happened to Marcy. The defendant was out in bond. She didn't know it. She was not notified. I guess she was shopping in a grocery store. And he killed her. We had victims' rights back then, but somebody didn't notify her. Victims' rights are there, but let me tell you, if the DA and the people working in the office do not take them seriously, well, they're just a piece of paper, a bunch of words on it. Now, don't you think she would have protected herself and be alive today if she had known? Remember that the law protects the criminal unless you step up and be heard. And please, election is coming up. Don't just automatically click the box. Well, I'm Democrat. Click, click, click. I'm Republican. Click, 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 click. You can check it out a little bit to see what the conviction rate is. Of course, it's different in each place. You might think that once a crime like this occurs, the legal system basically takes over and justice is served. But the reality, like I've said over and over again, is more complex. For example, the district attorney's office often handles hundreds of cases, each reduced to a simple case number. Their goal is to clear these cases efficiently, which sometimes means pushing the plea deals. That takes time, work, and money. And here's something important to know. The DA doesn't need your permission to negotiate these deals. Decisions are made between the DA, defense, and the judge without the input of the victim's family. Now, in my case, what was happening, and I found this throughout an advocate of mine who happens to work with a lot of the DAs and I guess judges within the state of Texas, that there were so many drunk driving cases that I guess they were giving them 10 years probation if they only killed once. I found out about it, and I did get a plea deal, 10 years. 5 years and then up for parole. But don't worry, Mama Bear will be there with a parole protest letter on December 6, 2026. Wherever that is held. He's right now in Lovelady, Texas, serving his term. But I'll be there. And I'll do a protest letter and I'll get victim impact statements. Now, again, ideally, the victim's rights advocate should keep you informed. But verifying any information is crucial. Don't just take it at face value unless it is emailed to you directly. And even then, be cautious. Like I said, I was misled. And one thing that happened to me too, and this was done on purpose, I know. I live out of state. As you know, I live in Nevada near Las Vegas. And this happened in Texas. Sometimes even written information arrives too late if they don't use email. Or even email for you to exercise your right to attend a hearing. If they don't want you there, they're going to find a way to keep you from coming. Of course, I told you the story about what happened to me when I did go down there, that infamous day. Their priority, again, is just to clear their case off the desk as quickly as possible. Now, just to do a little bit of reviewing here, when looking up information on the defendant, ensure you have the correct spelling of their name and Texas Department of Justice TDCJ number. TDCJ number. This number follows the defendant until they are sent to prison. After that, you can track the felon using Bond, a nationwide service that allows victims to receive updates about the offender's status. That means that they are in prison. And you can track them no matter where they go, because sometimes they do change, but that's another thing. They can take them from one prison to another prison. Unfortunately, not all state uses the IVSS system, but many have developed versions of the Integrated Victim Service Platform. These systems are often managed by state agencies such as the Attorney General's Office, Department of Public Safety, or local victims assistance programs. You have to do a lot of Googling. They are designed to give victims access to important information about their cases, notifications, and about court proceedings and links to supportive services. Just like I mentioned before. Some states might have even more comprehensive systems, where others may offer more limited services or rely on a combination of state and local programs to support victims. The goal of these systems is generally the same, to ensure that the victims have access to the resources they need and are kept informed about the cases. So my message to you today is this. Don't assume what you see on TV or in movies is how things play out. Do not listen to your friends, your relatives, the preacher, the rabbi, I don't care who it is. Do the research yourself. Find an attorney. Like I said, take the time to research, ask questions, get the support you need before a conviction is reached. Once it's reached, you have no recourse. Now, the legal system can be overwhelming, but with the correct information and persistence, you can navigate it, or at least have an understanding of it to ensure that your voice is heard. Always remember to ask, where is the defendant? The answer might not be what you expect. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and don't let anyone silence your voice. I am Sara Raney, and I am the proud mother of Dr. Kenley Gene Raney, who lost his life to a damn drunk driver. Thank you.